Hi, you are watching the Combining Polynomials Notes video. We are going to be adding and subtracting polynomials today, but first we need to understand some vocabulary. If you didn't already notice, this unit is big on the vocab. So if we look at this polynomial here, that's what this little guy is up here, the 5x squared minus 8x plus 13. The first thing that I want to talk about is it's cool because it's written in standard form. So we're going to fill that in right down below here. And we know that it's written in standard form because the exponents go from highest to lowest, actually no power at all. This 13 we can also call a constant. So when we talk about polynomials, we can discuss a word called terms. You've probably heard this before. A term is separated by plus and minus signs. We have 3 of them here. The leading coefficient, if you didn't already notice that we have it highlighted in the same color, the leading coefficient is the leading number in front of the highest exponent, the coefficient. So in this case, it's 5. Notice how the coefficient is a number. The degree is the highest exponent. So in this case, the degree is 2. So that's just some vocabulary that we will use throughout the unit. Another thing that you are already familiar with is like terms and unlike terms. But only in this unit, we're kind of kicking things up a little bit. So like term examples, 2x and 5x, 8x squared and negative 6x squared. Notice how it's the same base raised to the same exponent. 15y cubed and y cubed. Again, the exponents are the same. Unlike terms, I think the most obvious one is 7x and negative 2y. Clearly, they're x and y, and they're different. 4 and 3x. We've also talked about things like this. If it doesn't have a variable, you can't combine apples and bananas when we're adding. This bottom one here, I would say, is the trickiest in all the land because we need to be careful that it's the same base raised to the same power. So negative 5x and 5x squared are not like terms because of that squared here. All right, let's simplify these polynomial expressions. It says to write our answer in standard form. Okay, number 1, check it out. We have some like terms here because we both have, or they're both x squareds. So set 3x squared plus 7x squared, well, 7 plus 3, that just means that we have 10x squareds. Moving on to number 2. Oh, we've seen things like this. Anytime we have parentheses, let's distribute. So I'm going to distribute the 1/2, and then there's a 1 here. Half of 2x is just 1x. Half of 6 is 3. And then 1 times 8x is just 8x, and 1 times negative 7 is just negative 7. So let's group together some like terms here. My 1x and 8x, so 1x plus 8x is 9x. 1 plus 8 is 9. And 3 minus 7 is negative 4. Oh, geez, what happened there? Okay, so my final answer is 9x minus 4. Notice how we can't group either of those together because they're not like terms. So we have 2 terms in our answer. All right, number 3. If you're thinking we need to distribute that negative 1, you're right on. I also like to put 1s in front of my x's. It just keeps me sane, and, there's a 1 in front. Sometimes people think it's 0 if there's not a 1 there, and then forget to add it. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times negative 9 is positive 9. And then we're just going to add like terms again. 1x minus 2x, negative 1x. 4 plus 9 is 13. So this expression simplifies to negative 1x plus 13. Notice how I'm writing all of my answers in standard form, from highest power to lowest power to no power at all. All right, number 4. Whoa, what's going on here? There's a lot of action. Okay, so let's start with our highest powers. I don't have parentheses, so that's cool. So 4a squared minus 7a squared, those are like terms. 4 minus 7 is negative 3, so that's negative 3a squared. Minus 6a plus 1a, so negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5a. And then that a little 11 over there, he doesn't have friends, he's positive, so we're just going to add him on to the end. Notice how this is in standard form. Wow, that was so fun. All right, these are ones that I want you to be very careful of when there are words. When there's words, I throw parentheses in like a crazy math person. I am going to subtract this from that. Whenever you see this kind of language, subtract this from that. This first part here always comes second. So I'm going to write this like a mathematician. 10x minus 3x minus 5, all in parentheses, because now you can see that negative 1 needs to be distributed. That 10x doesn't really need the parentheses, but it was great to have them in there just in case. So 10x minus 3x plus 5, because we're distributing that negative. And then you guessed it, we're going to combine those like terms again. 10x minus 3x, 7x plus 5 is my final answer.